Hey everyone, it's Hayes, and today we're going to be trying to work out what will happen in Ephemeral, although I can't promise how accurate this will be. I was hoping the Gloob trailer would clear things up, but to be honest, it just made me more upset. So I'm going to be using all of the scenes from the trailers we have, as well as the synopsis, and I will also be referencing but not showing the leaked script, so if you didn't see it, sucks to be you, I guess. I'm kidding. Send me a message on Twitter or Instagram and I'll send you it. I still have a screenshot. But just let me say, I am very worried that this episode will feel rushed with the amount going on in it. Dear Lord, there is a lot of things happening in this episode. I definitely think, even if it's a good episode, it will feel a bit rushed. So let's start by rereading that synopsis. What if Ladybug and Cat Noir found out about their secret identities? To beat a villain, Ladybug calls on 9 superheroes when all she needed was Cat Noir and his cataclysm. But she couldn't call the latter, as she still doesn't know his secret identity. The Celestial Guardian of the Miraculous finds that this situation cannot go on any longer. It is too dangerous to leave Cat Noir's Miraculous in the wild with a stranger. If Ladybug is to remain Guardian, she must find a way to tell Master Suhan who Cat Noir really is. Someone has to know to control. Faced with this ultimatum, what will Ladybug do? So, according to the script, Scene 5 is the fight with Murloc, and we know it happens at the same time Adrien is at the conference, and Scene 5, near the start of the episode, that's how they start from Scene 1. So it seems the episode will begin with Adrien being dropped off at the conference by his dad, but I'm unsure why Daddy Agrest is even here to begin with. He doesn't get out of the car, and this man doesn't leave the house for anything. So if he's not getting out of the car to attend an event for his own fashion label, why is he out of the house? I have no idea whatsoever. It's very odd, but whatever they're talking about, it makes Adrien kind of sad. I'm thinking they're talking about his mum, but that's just speculation. So at the same time, we know it happens at the same time from the script, but also because of the sky, it's sunset. Ladybug and the rest of the gang, apart from Cat Noir and Rena Furtive, are taking on Murloc. So there was a leaked concept art as well. I swear to God, the staff at Zag cannot keep a secret to save their lives, but it showed that Bob Roth, not to be confused with Bob Ross, two very different men, two very different ideas.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
So Bob Roth gets akumatized and he has this safe, and I think this safe might be a senti monster, and the wallet that the Akuma is attached to is inside the safe, and to get in, hey, you guessed it, they need Cat Noir's cataclysm, but Adrien isn't there. He's at this press conference thingy-majig, and there is also a lucky charm of a fire truck. Why? Don't know, but in this case, with the way we got a Vespa in Soul Crusher and then a Lamborghini in Glaciator 2, I am expecting a private jet in the finale. Please and thank you, Thomas Dastruck. Now, back to the script. Natalie isn't at the conference. She's probably chilling in bed, trying to get that world record for longest nap ever. But sorry, Natalie, Emily is beating you by a mile. You're gonna have to try a lot harder. But she's watching the conference on her tablet. Adrien apparently sees Ladybug and the others chasing Murloc from the windows. Adrien obviously can't just jump up and be like, I need the toilet, sorry, excuse me, but couldn't he though? Couldn't he just say, I'm sorry, I need the toilet? Are there no toilets at this venue? No? Alright, so he apparently looks troubled according to the script. I guess because there are no toilets, I'd be troubled too if there were no toilets. And Natalie notices that he needs to go to the toilet. I'm kidding. She notices he's troubled, and that's where the script ends. The synopsis opens with the battle where Cat Noir isn't present, and then it talks about Suhan, so I would assume after the fight where they somehow defeat this Akuma. It's unclear if Adrien turns up or he is absent for the full thing. Suhan and Ladybug have this chat at night together where he tells her he needs to know who Cat Noir is. And I mean, the dude's got a point. Natalie and Daddy Agrest are achieving quite a lot together because they know who the other person is, and Marina and Alia have managed quite a bit too. I agree at the start of the show, identities need to be kept a secret, but now it's becoming a detriment. So Ladybug and Cat Noir meet up in the sewers, and why they go down there? I'm not sure, but these teenagers sure do like hanging out down there. I mean, I've never been in the sewers myself before, but I can't imagine the smell is what's driving them to go down there. I would assume if Cat Noir missed a whole Akuma attack or was really late to it, Ladybug would want to check in with him, you know, see what's up, maybe shout at him, possibly put him in the bin again, and they go down into the sewers to scream at each other. I'm kidding, I have no idea why they go down there. They're just weirdos, these French children hanging out in sewers. But they emerge to Akuma Attack Central with Captain Hardrock, the Gamer, and the Gorizilla. How or why they are akumatized, I am not sure. It's unclear if this is part of some sort of mega Akuma attack or if they're akumatized one after the other. So for example, Annika gets akumatized but then they purify her and then Max gets akumatized and so on. I was really hoping Gloob's trailer would clear things up here, but it did not, so Thank you, Uncle Gloob. I think they see this red light coming, which may be causing the Akuma attacks, so they transform into Cosmo Bug and Astro Cat. I'm so excited to see the full transformation for that, it looks epic, no wonder why they saved it for now, and take off to escape it, but it's not clear what caused it. I've seen some people say this red light is Purple Tigress's clout, and I agree it looks similar, but I'm not so sure it is that. Max gets akumatized and doesn't have his Miraculous, as he'd probably be named a different villain. For example, Alia is usually akumatized into Lady Wi-Fi, but she becomes, I think it's Rena Rage, when she's akumatized as Rena Rouge. So it would be a different villain. So if he doesn't have his Miraculous, then it stands to reason Julika wouldn't have her Miraculous either. I think it's another villain, but again, I'm not sure who. So Akuma attack's done with, Ladybug and Cat Noir reconvene on the Eiffel Tower, and she's like, look bestie, tell me who you are, and he's been waiting so long, he just does it, no questions asked, and she's like, oh, it is you, the boy that I secretly love. I hate that song with every single fibre of my being, but you know, I was wondering where the Adrien was this season, and I guess we found it, here you go. So Ladybug's like, oh, okay. I think at this point Adrien would be like, go on, who are you? And she's like, sorry, no deal, bestie, and she leaves. So Adrien goes home, probably a bit sad Ladybug didn't tell him who she was as well. And the next day, because we see daylight here, his dad very, very subtly, so subtle, oh boy, the subtleness here, makes Adrien follow him, like I was so right about Daddy Agrest turning his head to make sure Adrien is following him. So Adrien follows him into the murder basement, sees his mum, gets akumatized, hands over his Miraculous, he becomes Ephemeral, and Daddy Agrest becomes Shadow Cat Daddy. However, why does Gabriel akumatize Adrien? This man was prepared to do it that day. He had a butterfly in his staff, he made sure Adrien was following him, and he was so against the idea in Glaciator 2. The only reason he can have for akumatizing Adrien now, in my opinion, is that he found out Adrien is Cat Noir. But how? We know in Wishmaker episode 18, Gabriel didn't know because of how surprised he is. 19 Simple Man, he doesn't find out in there, and he doesn't find out in episode 21 either. We actually only get one scene of Adrien, and it's of him in the sewers. These French children and their obsession with the sewers. Are you all okay? Do you have nowhere else to hang out in France? Did they close all the parks and you had to resort to the sewers? So I know we haven't seen episode 20, but maybe he finds out who Adrien is then. But I don't know anything about that episode apart from Sabine gets akumatized and she'll get a charm. Either that or Daddy Agrest finds out in this episode, but how, again, I'm not sure. Maybe Natalie figured the whole thing out when Adrien looked troubled because he needed to go to the bathroom at the press conference. Can you believe it? A bathroom break made her work it all out. Amazing. Natalie's intelligence knows no bounds. That can be the only really feasible reason, in my opinion, he akumatizes Adrien. But it does bother me how when Gabriel finds out how Adrien is, he acts like an absolute psycho, like in Sharp Blank. Like when he doesn't know, he's a slightly unpleasant but largely rational person. But the moment he finds out his son is Cat Noir, that flies out of the window and he's like, aha, time to use my wife's body to akumatize our son. It's traumatizing time. Let's go. So he akumatizes Adrien, and Ladybug has been up to something as she's in her Lucky Charm outfit, but what exactly, I'm not sure. And she's trying to track Cat Noir, I think, and she gets to the movie theatre and hey, you found him, he's there. Technically. So Adrien is ephemeral and Shadow Cat Daddy is chilling next to him. Now we all know by now ephemeral means lasting for a short period of time, so I think ephemeral can de-transform Ladybug, and if that's the case, why didn't Gabriel just give this power to Aurora back in the first episode? I don't know. So Ladybug tries to run away, but she de-transforms and it's game over, folks. I think at this point Ladybug has no choice but to use the Rabbit Miraculous, whether using it herself or she asks Alex to use it. Shadow Daddy knows who she and Adrien are, and I am dying to see Adrien's reaction to seeing her de-transform, but she has to time travel, she has no choice, it's game over, there is no other way out of this situation unless this is part of a dream, which I highly doubt. I am going into this episode fully expecting time travel, and I think you should too, besties. There is no way around this. She cannot win in this episode without the Rabbit Miraculous. How far back Ladybug will go, I'm not sure, but I think she will remember everything, hence why I'm tentative about saying Alex will be used here. And we finish the episode with the umbrella scene. Ladybug has told Suhan who Cat Noir is, although she probably doesn't disclose Shadow Daddy got his Miraculous in another timeline. That would be terrible. And Ladybug goes to meet Cat Noir, and she finally realises how blind she's been and sees the resemblance to Adrien. Finally, I'm going to cry. The only thing I'm unsure of is this scene with the candy monster. I'm not really sure where it goes. I don't know, but I hope the rest of it made sense, especially the umbrella scene. It echoes the original umbrella scene, which happens at the end of Origins, so it stands to reason that this is also at the end of the episode. So that's it. So that's what I think will happen in Ephemeral. I am expecting time travel. There is no way around this episode without it. And I am also expecting to have a mental breakdown. I will very soon not be the same person. So Ephemeral will air on Sunday at 9:35 AM French time in French on TF1. What did you think about the little story I put together with all of the trailers we've got so far? Do you think the umbrella scene will happen last, or do you think it'll happen further back in the episode? I was a bit unsure of it, but it does, to me anyway, make sense for it to happen later on in the episode due to it echoing Origins and also time travel. Like, I'd bet money on this. I'm like at this point 98% sure we are getting time travel in this episode, because like if she doesn't use it, like I said, it's game over. You know, like it's over. She has to use it. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.